What's up, man? I want to talk about the Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter face to face. The number one thing I took from it was, to me, it's going to be a good fight. Both fighters believe that they can stop the other fighter. You heard both fighters say they can stop the other fighter, and they had an exchange about the Mikey Garcia fight, and Shawn Porter as well, I guess, yeah. Errol Spence said he's going to stop Shawn Porter, but Shawn Porter said I've never been stopped. And Errol Spence said it's the first time for everything. And then Shawn Porter replied and said, well, how you going to stop me if you couldn't stop Mikey Garcia? He's a lightweight coming up in two weight classes. Errol Spence, his response was, I was not trying to stop him. Leading up to the build-up, people were saying that he was going to outbox me. He was technically better than me, so I wanted to show my boxing skills. Now, this is a guy that says man down. You know, that's Errol Spence's mantra. It's man down, right? He wanted to get everybody up out of there. And all of a sudden, look, even if you didn't say you was going to stop Mikey Garcia, you want to stop Mikey Garcia. Trust me, you wanted to stop Mikey Garcia because in the last, if you can clearly see that fight in the last 4 or 5 rounds, Errol Spence was pushing on the gas. He was coming forward trying to stop Mikey Garcia. He just couldn't stop Mikey Garcia. And I think he's embarrassed by that. Now, he did outbox Mikey Garcia. You know, he outboxed Mikey Garcia, and he clearly showed that he was a better technical fighter than Mikey Garcia. Now, the last thing to do is to stop him after you establish that. And if you go back to the fight, you can listen in the corner. You can listen to Derek James say, hey, it's time to get this man up out of here. I think that was round 7 or 8 when he said that. And, you know, Errol Spence was trying to get him up out of there. Now, there's always, you know, things going around in the boxing gym that Errol Spence, you know, stopping light heavyweights and all this stuff, stopping bigger guys, dropping one of the Charlos. I guess he stunned one of the Charlos real bad or something like that. And my thing is this. If you stunning those guys and knocking those guys out, because I keep telling y'all, when you're sparring, you're wearing bigger gloves, you're wearing headgear. If you're stopping light heavyweights with bigger gloves and the light heavyweight has headgear on, you should be stopping a lightweight coming up in two weight classes with smaller gloves with no headgear, regardless if the lightweight has a chin or not. You should still be stopping him. And not only was Errol Spence going to the head real well, hitting Mikey Garcia to the head, he was hitting him to the body real well. So when you say you wasn't trying to stop him, you're not telling the truth. Because when you came on Shawn Porter called it his show, when you came on that PBC live and you talked about the fight, Shawn Porter asked you, were you upset that you didn't stop Mikey Garcia? You said yeah. You clearly said yeah. I was upset that I didn't stop him. I wanted to stop him. But now all of a sudden you don't want to stop him. Listen, what I tell people about sparring all the time, yes, you can take a lot from sparring. Yes, you can take things from sparring. But when I have plenty of times, sparred big guys and got the best of big guys, you know, and then sparred smaller guys, and smaller guys was right there with me competitively, you know what I'm saying? If not, sometimes getting the best of me. And spar guys my size, and I get the best of them, sometimes they get the best of me. People really don't talk about the times that people got the best of them in sparring. It's always what they did well in sparring. And everything that's coming about Errol Spence is Errol Spence never struggled in sparring. Errol Spence always beat people up in sparring. He never got beat up in sparring before. And this is what you hear. But like I said, different guys spar at different points of their conditioning. Maybe the guys you spar sometimes, their conditioning is real high. Maybe their conditioning is low. Maybe it is mid-range. Maybe yours is high at the time that theirs is low. It all depends on when they start in training camp. When did you start training camp? And how much in shape you are versus how much in shape they are. Because it doesn't matter if you can fight or not, you can handle yourself. If you in there with somebody that can handle themselves, but they got more gas in the tank, they're going to look better than you in sparring. That's plain and simple. And sometimes, yeah, some people get caught with punches, they go down. I got caught with body punches, I went down. I got caught with one headshot I ever got caught with that I went down. But most of the times I went down real well-placed body shots. And that happens in sparring. So when Errol Spence say that he's stopping light heavyweights, and you get in there with anybody that's less than a light heavyweight, people are expecting you to stop them. And if you don't stop them, then people are looking at you sideways. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say him saying that he's stopping light heavyweights didn't him any favors when you go in there versus a lightweight. You know what I'm saying? And you don't stop him. And do I think either one of these guys is going to stop either one of these guys? I don't think it's going to be a stoppage. I don't think either one of these guys are going to stop either one unless they catch one with a well-placed body shot, like I said, or catch him with a punch that they don't see. Other than that, this is going to be a 12-round fight. I don't know. I picked Shawn Porter to edge it out. I bet on Shawn Porter, so I'm picking Shawn Porter to edge it out. I won't be surprised. It's a 50-50 fight anyway. The way any way I cut it, it's a 50-50 fight. I don't see Shawn Porter getting ran over. I don't see Shawn. I just don't see that. Now people say Mikey Garcia's gonna get ran over. Yes, Mikey Garcia got out. He got outboxed. He was out. Fault, but he didn't get ran over because getting ran over is Errol Spence stopping him in like 6 rounds, 5 or 6 rounds. Because now when Errol Spence say I wasn't trying to stop him, I'm gonna tell you the reason why that's a lie. When you on a pay-per-view, not let alone when you on live TV, when you on pay-per-view, you trying to put the best foot forward possible. And the best foot forward when you on live TV like Showtime or something like that. But then when the other level is when you on pay-per-view because people actually paying to see you. You want to keep them coming back, especially casual fans. Casual fans gravitate more towards knockouts than normal fans. Normal fans, they understand the technical aspect of boxing and they understand that you can't stop everybody. But when you want to get casual fans, they gravitate to people getting beat up, people getting knocked out. They want to see blood. They want to see that. They want to see back and forth action, stuff like that. For you to say that you just want to outbox him on pay-per-view don't make no sense, and that's a lie. Because you had already established that you can outbox Mikey Garcia by round 5. And Derrick James understood that. Derrick James understood that you already showed that you can outbox the man by round 5, round 6 at the latest. Now that's why he said it's time to get this man up out of here because you already proved your point that you can outbox him. You was a more technical fighter. Now it's time to get him up out of there, and you just didn't get him out of there. And when people say, "Oh, I'd rather see somebody get outboxed," come on, man. Nobody looks at boxing and say, "I want to see somebody get outboxed." We look at boxing for somebody to get knocked out. The ultimate thing, because when people jump out their seats is when somebody get knocked out or somebody get knocked down. Nobody jumps out their seat because somebody getting outboxed. It's just no, it doesn't happen. When you look at the crowd, just look at the crowd reaction when you look at somebody get outboxed. Because we all look at Mayweather fights, and we all know Mayweather outboxed everybody. Look how the crowd is, still subdued, still sitting in their seat, just watching. They're intrigued, but they just watching. When somebody get knocked down and somebody get knocked out, everybody jumps out their seat. Because that's ultimately what people watch fights to see, knockouts. So if you mean to tell me before the fight, you talk to your trainer and you say, "Hey man, it's best if we go out there and outbox this man on pay-per-view versus outboxing him and then stopping him," and you pick the latter and say, "No, it's better outbox him, don't stop him," that's a lie. You wanted to stop the man, you just couldn't stop him. And it's okay, you just couldn't stop him. But don't go on in front of Shawn Porter and say, "Hey, I didn't want to stop him." What you're trying to say is you carried him. And that's what Shawn Porter picked up on. Shawn Porter said, "Oh, now we're not trying to hurt nobody. We carrying fighters now." See, that's what Shawn Porter picked up on. Now what? Are you saying that you carried him? Now is Errol Spence saying he carried Mikey Garcia? Is that the new thing now that you did knock him out? All of a sudden you're carrying him? Look, listen. And another thing, when he said, now one thing I do agree with Errol Spence on when he said, God give, but the difference between skills and talent, because Shawn Porter was like, "What's the difference between skills and talent, my friend?" He said, "Skills is something that you work on in the gym. Talent is something that's God gifted." I believe that's true. Now, do I look at Shawn Porter and say he's the most skilled technical boxer? No. Shawn Porter is a guy that does different things. He doesn't do everything great. He does a lot of things good. And he does a couple things great. He has great foot movement. I look at him, observe that he got great foot movement. He got great angles, the way he attack you. And he's a great pressure fighter. That's what I think he should bring into the fight. I don't think he should try to outbox Errol Spence, because he asked Errol, "Can you box?" But I don't think that's the best method for Shawn Porter to fight. Now, he could mix up boxing, but he has to come forward, get on the inside quickly. Establish that it's gonna be a rough fight, because already he's in Errol Spence's head, because Errol Spence is talking about, you a dirty fighter. You come in with elbows and headbutts. So he said that he's a dirty fighter. So already, Errol Spence said, well, if you come in there doing some dirty stuff, I can get dirty too. See, that's why you shouldn't. That's why I say Errol Spence and his trainer brought it up in the first press conference. Talk about the elbows and headbutts. You already know how Shawn Porter fights before you get in the ring. Now, if you want to talk about the elbows and headbutts, talk about that to the referee before the fight, because referees always come into the dressing room. Because I've been in a professional fight, had a couple. The referee always comes to your dressing room, ask you questions, ask you have any concerns, and those are the concerns you tell the referee before the fight, before you go in the ring. You don't have that in your mind that if he gets dirty, I'm gonna get dirty. Now you taking yourself out of your way, going out of your game plan, trying to fight how Shawn Porter fights. That's the way Shawn Porter fights. I believe Shawn Porter sometimes eats up his own space and doesn't fight at the right range. That's why he ends up headbutting people and sometimes coming in there with elbows, because he doesn't have he hasn't mastered the spacing of boxing. That's why he's not a really good boxer, because he hasn't mastered the space. He doesn't understand the space. Sometimes his feet moves too fast for him. Shawn Porter is a gifted athlete that learned how to box. That's what he is. He's a gifted athlete that learned how to box, because they said his father said he played football in high school. He was a top guy in his state of Ohio, and we all know Ohio produced really good football players. He's one of those guys that flourished in football and other sports. So he's a really good athlete that learned how to box, and he's never going to master the space if he hasn't mastered it yet. But like I said, Errol Spence is not gonna run over Shawn Porter. I don't think either one of them are gonna run over each other unless, like I said, somebody succumb to the body shots, the body attack, because both guys go to the body well, or somebody get hit up top by something that they really didn't see, a person countered them well over the top, or something like that. And like I said, man, it's gonna be a good fight. But Errol Spence needs to come. He just need to come to the stop lying about that he was not trying to stop Mikey Garcia. Yes, he was trying to stop Mikey Garcia, y'all. He just couldn't do it. But I'm out, man. Let me know what y'all think.